What if the biggest wealth generating opportunity in the next 5 years aren't random? Look back at history. The internet, smartphone, cloud computing, AI, these massive technological waves did not just happen overnight. They arrive in structural cycles. And according to a niche group of financial researchers, we are standing right at the edge of the next major wave. Between 2026 and 2030, they pointed for specific windows: AI, energy, biotech, and space. Now let me stop you before you head to the comments. This is not about fortune telling. We aren't looking at the sky to figure out what Nvidia is going to do next Tuesday. This is about pattern recognition, a way to study human innovation, market psychology, and where the capital might subtly concentrate.
Hey guys, I'm Doma and welcome back to my channel.
If you have been watching my recent videos, you know I've been tracking down how cycle works in the financial markets. But today we are skipping the basic theory because the real question isn't whether these cycles exist. The real question is what happens next. Starting in 2026, several major planets are shifting signs almost around the same time. Historically, when macro astrology shifts so violently, the global economy does too. Let's start with the narrative that is already dominating the market: artificial intelligence. For the past few years, the AI story has entirely been about softwares, smarter models, faster algorithm. Eventually, every digital revolution hits the same ceiling: the reality. For AI to actually change the world, we still need some physical bodies. It needs robotics, it needs phonetics, it needs advanced semiconductor architecture. And this is exactly why psycho researchers are obsessed with the 2026 to 2027 window. In financial astrology, this period features something called the Saturn-Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees Aries.
Because these two planets roughly meet every 36 years.
Their conjunction dedicates the rise and fall of macroeconomic cycle. You don't need to be an astrologer to understand the symbolism. Saturn represents physical structure and reality. Neptune represents the invisible, the digital, the dream. Everyone's looking at AI, but very few are looking at the plumbing beneath it. But if this cycle holds, the mechanical system that gives AI its body
are about to become the most important infrastructure on Earth.
By 2028, the narrative shifts. It stops being a story about computers and starts being a story about biology. During this window, we hit a rare configuration: Jupiter, Uranus, and Pluto, forming a grand trine in air signs. Think of it like upgrading
from a dirt road to a multi-lane freeway.
And what is the ultimate information system? Biology. Life is just a complex information system. Imagine genetic research is moving at the speed of our software updates.
The momentum in biotech is going to be impossible to ignore.
The thesis for 2028 is simple.
It learns to read DNA, and the healthcare sector will never be the same. And in the late 2020s, Saturn moves into Taurus.
In mundane astrology, Taurus rules physical earth, agriculture, and raw resources.
Saturn brings extreme restrictions, pressure, and
reality checks. Historically, when we hit the cycle,
the old systems simply stop working.
Pressure creates panic, panic creates necessity, and necessity forces massive capital investments.
The biggest crisis of late 2020s won't be a lack of intelligence.
It will be a lack of energy, which means the next major wealth transfer might not be about AI itself.
By the late 2020s, we are roughly looking at 2029 to 2030. Psycho researchers project that the space sector might transition itself from an exotic frontier to just a boring functional industry. Not because we're building cities on Mars,
but because low Earth orbit becomes vital commercial infrastructure. The moment when everyone stops being excited about space is precisely when the money starts to compound quietly. This is what 2029 to 2030 looks like in the space sector.
I want to be completely transparent here. None of this framework is my original invention. I'm currently studying the work of legendary financial astrology researchers. People like Arch Crawford, Raymond Merman, and Rudolph.
Nobody knows the future.
The goal of studying financial astrology is not about prediction, but about observation.
So how do we trade or invest with all these astrology frameworks?
Personally, I'm not using all these frameworks to blindly trade or invest,
but using it as a filter. For example, if I know the structural shift in 2026 is physical infrastructure, I would start paying attention to robotics and phonetics and also create a watch list that includes company relating to that field. I'm still studying, I'm still refining, and hope you can join me along the road. In the next video, we are zooming into the Q3 and Q4 of 2026. Let me know in the comments if there's any sector that you are paying attention to. Bye, and see you in the next video.